So, damn, where do I start? Alright, guys, so, we got some bad news today, obviously. If you've been following along, Eric went out, today to go check up on the family, and when he was pulling up, he looked at the camper that's next to the house, and he seen people, looking through the blinds, tweaking, whatever. And he walked up to the house, and everybody was outside, and he asked Betty. He said, "Who's in the camper?" And Betty said, "Ain't nobody out there in that camper." And then he asked Larry. He said, "Larry, who's in the camper?" Larry said, "There ain't nobody out there." And this went on and on and on, for quite some time, and finally he said, "Man, guys," he said, "who's out there in that camper?" And finally, Betty said, "Well, I guess BJ's out there." And he's like, "Why would you let BJ back or be in the camper and not tell me?" So Eric, thinking that, he's doing the right thing, he calls 911. And he's explaining to them the situation. He said that there is a protective custody in order, and that she's in violation, and they need to come out there. So they asked to speak to the victim, which they always do that. So they asked to speak to Betty. Well, he gave Betty the phone, not thinking nothing, and Betty walked away, walked in the house. So, Betty finally came out after a few minutes, handed Eric the phone and said, "Here." And Eric got on the phone, and he's like, "Yes, sir." And the officer's like, "Sir, we're sorry. There's nothing that we can do about it if they don't want to extend the protective order." And Eric's just so took back and just so hurt and so baffled, like, do you know everything that's gone on this week? I've updated you guys numerous times. They had some amazing once in a lifetime opportunities that were fixing to happen in the next couple of days. Look, guys, they went and got the permits yesterday morning so that the Amish could start building their house, and they were going to be starting, I believe, next week. And you guys know how fast the Amish builds? Like, within 2 weeks, it would probably be putting electrical in it. I don't even think that long. These guys are master craftsmen. So, they would have their house really, really, really fast. And they gave all that up just because they didn't want to not have BJ there making bad decisions, because BJ has a substance abuse issue. And it's really sad because BJ hurts Timmy. And if you know anything about Timmy, I've never met this man a day in my life, but I know that I love him with my soul. Timmy is a great person. You can see the evolution over time of Timmy, and what he took. It just took a little bit of love, just a little bit of attention, just somebody to show that he cared. They cared about him. Timmy turned into a whole new person. You could see he was always happy. I watched a video where Patrick woke him up, and he as soon as he opened his eyes, he said, "Hey!" And he was so happy. Man, do you know how many days I wake up and I'm so mad and it's about nothing and I'm blessed? That guy is a genuine soul. And Eric said in the video that, this is so sad, guys. He said that he made a last video with Timmy, and he told Timmy after the video, he said, "Buddy, I'm really going to miss you." And he gave him a hug, turned around, and he was crying, and he turned and walked away. And Timmy chased him down, and he said, today, and Eric's been around him long enough. He knows what he means. He means, "Are you going to be back today?" And he had to tell him, "No. No, buddy, I'm not coming back." And it broke his heart. But at the end of the day, unfortunately for these folks' situation, no matter how great of a thing that Eric and Patrick try to do for this family, they don't have any rights over Timmy, and they can't just take him, you know. And if Betty and Larry say that he had to stay, then he has to stay, you know. So it's like, what can you do about the situation? It's just, it sucks, and it broke Timmy's heart, and it broke Eric's heart, and I haven't seen Patrick's video yet, if he's even going to make one, you know. I'm sure his heart's broken also. Guys, they had everything set up. The permits were set up. The Amish were going to build the house. They were going to have a brand new house. You know, they had people from out of town that were out here, you know, and they had to call all these people and just tell them what happened. And do you know just how crazy all this is? You know, I really pray for the Whittakers. I really do, because I've fallen in love with them. I really have. I know you guys have fallen in love with them too. And it's like, I pray for their best life to happen to them, you know, because they're good people and they deserve it. They got some drama going on, but hell, who don't, you know? And I wish I could get out there to see him one day, because I know that if we don't see videos of Timmy anymore, I'm really going to miss him every day, man. I really enjoyed seeing the weather and just seeing him live life, man. You know, I'm going to go ahead and head out for now, because this sucks, but I love you guys, and thank you for watching the updates. I hope you keep following me. I'm going to start doing stuff with my family, and I'll see you guys soon. You guys have a great night, and God bless.